Okay, so people are requesting more pictures of the fish, and I cannot take pictures of the fish on the phone. It just doesn't work. They're all blurry and sad. So we'll do another fish room video. This right here is the side of the tropical 90-gallon. Let me, that might work a little better. So in here we've got rainbow fish, some autocinkless, some shrimp that usually kind of live down in there, but I don't think you're going to be able to pick them up on camera. There's one right there. No, I lost you. Yep, they're kind of clear. So there is a Cory cat right there. Right there in the background behind him is the shrimp. But we've got rainbow fish. We have some platies that I just haven't been able to catch back out of there. And a lot of plants that are just going like crazy. So I'd love to get a few more rainbow fish for that tank eventually. But for right now, it's good the way it is. And then this is actually the only heated tank in this room. The rest of them are all room temperature cold water tanks. So we'll see how that fares in the winter. This is the cold water 90-gallon. I don't know how to fix that glare. I've turned the lights off of everything else. This tank's a bit of a hot mess. Down at the bottom there we have Geophagus surmenus. Those are those two fish right there. They aren't too colorful right now, but when they grow up, they're going to be like 8 inches long, and they're going to be super pretty. In the back there is the paradise fish, Mr. Murder McMurderson. He is so far getting along with everybody in this tank. I think they're all big enough to kind of tell him to chill out. And then we've just got miscellaneous guppies as dither fish. We've got some algae problems on the glass. Well, some people call it a problem. I'm kind of going with the healthy tank. Algae eats nitrates, so it's a healthy tank thing. We've got some autocinkless in here. I have to get a few more so they keep cleaning the glass. I've got some platies. I've got some mollies in here that I just put in a couple days ago because mollies are supposed to eat this hair algae. I'm pretty sure that is hair algae on that plant. Oh, here's the autocinkless is over there. Oh, they swam away. So nobody's really eating that hair algae yet, so I might have to pick that up and put it in with the scuds. That's also why I just got scuds. They can be used as fish food, and they like to clean hair algae. So that's a daily battle to figure out how to get rid of that in the tank. But it's not a crisis. We'll tweak a few things here and there and see where we get. But these guys are so pretty. Good, nice, healthy little Geophagus fishies. And they're sand sifters. So they actually suck sand into their mouth and spit it out through the gills. That's kind of how they eat, because they just kind of sift through everything on the bottom. And then the next is my 2 10-gallon tanks of scuds. You can actually see them kind of swimming around. These tiny little crustaceans. But there's a ton in here. And how I've been getting them out to feed them is I float a piece of cucumber, leave it for like a half hour, and you come back and there's just a crazy amount of scuds on there, and then you can shake them off into a cup and dump them into a tank. So that's how that's been doing. There's a snail right there cruising along. Getting somewhere pretty fast. So next we have a 10-gallon tank that was not really meant to have fish in it. This is supposed to be my quarantine tank. But I believe we have a little red-eared sunfish. I believe that's who he is right there. Let me see. If I turn the light on, I think he's going to run away. But he will not eat prepared food. He will only eat live food, and he's depleted all of my live stuff that I could feed him. I'm kind of out of guppy fry, totally out of shrimp. I just ordered black fly larva. I think soldier black fly larva for him. We went to PetSmart this morning to get crickets for him, and I think he actually ate the crickets eventually. But he is really teeny tiny, and I need him to grow a lot bigger. so I can put him back down the 55-gallon with the other sunfish. But I put him in this 10-gallon because I thought he was dying. I wanted to kind of quarantine him off, but he's plumped back up. He was really skinny and sad, and he's probably doubled in size and has a really fat belly now. We just have to work on keeping to feed him, because he will starve himself to death, apparently. And apparently he's too slow to catch the guppies that are in there with him right now. But we will get there. Okay. Next is the 55-gallon that looks like a hot mess, but it's got the 2 other sunfish in it. Should be a green sunfish, I think green-gilled sunfish, and an orange spotted sunfish. I believe that is the orange spotted one right there. And they're huge. I mean, they came, you know, the size of a thumbnail, and they've, you know, they're 10 times the size they were. And then I believe here's the bluegill sunfish. And all of the guppies and platies and mollies that are in here are basically food. Maybe he is the redgill sunfish, but he's got spots, so I don't really know. I have an orange spotted one, a red, no, it's a red-eared, and a bluegill sunfish. I don't know which is which. He's the bluegill. I got that down. I don't know if this guy is the red ear or the spotted, but he's got a lot of spots all over his body, but he might be the red ear too. We'll have to see when the other one gets bigger. But, so all these guppies are basically food, ditherfish, you know, kind of friends until they get big enough to eat them. And while I'm on the floor, pivot over here to a guppy tank. And these are my half purple guppies. These are a show strain that I paid a ridiculous amount for. But they filled out and the tank is so pretty and I love them so much. Just look how pretty they are. They're breeding nice and true. They're just gorgeous. We've got 2 little Cory cats down there. And we've got some Autocinclus in this tank to keep everything clean too. So, we've got 3 Cory cats down there. I only put 2 in here. So, they're breeding in there, which is awesome and wonderful. And then if we pivot up this way, we have the other guppy tank with a really bad glare. But these are just kind of mutt guppies, but pretty high quality mutt guppies. I've been pulling fry out of here to feed to the Mr. McPicky sunfish. And there's an Autocinclus right there on the leaf. It's got a nice big fat belly. And here's some Cory eggs right here. So I've got 3 Cory catfish in here and they're actually laying eggs and breeding. And whenever I can pull eggs out of the tropical 90-gallon, I actually throw them in here. Because I think that's the best chance that the fry will hatch out and survive. Everybody's pretty peaceful in this tank. And then move over to here, and we have the longfin leopard danios. These were the mystery fry that hatched out, and actually this morning I bought 5 more at PetSmart. So we'll dump some quarantine meds in here and hope that everybody survives from PetSmart and they don't infect my old 5 that I had in here. So we have 10 in here now. I'm hoping maybe they'll colony breed, but I don't think they really are. I think they're going to eat their fry. But we'll see. Time will tell. And then here I have my golden white clouds. And I've been trying to get them to breed for close to a year now. So I'm hoping maybe they'll breed this winter. There's a whole mat of plants. I think it's guppy grass mainly back there. It's guppy grass, there's java moss, there's all sorts of stuff. Get this out of the way. Back there for them to hide and lay eggs in, and for the eggs to hatch and the fry to hide. So we'll see. At some point, they're going to breed and I'm going to have more. You can tell, like, the females are really fat with babies. They've got eggs. They just are not surviving for some reason. But I figure the less I think about it, the more chance it'll happen. So they're just gonna stay in there all winter, and I'll just keep feeding them high quality, high protein food and hope that they decide to make babies. And that's, oh wait, no, that's not it. So this little picky guy is causing utter chaos. I had to set up 3 10-gallon tanks upstairs in my office. One to breed guppies in, one to breed shrimp in, and one to breed snails in. So I could feed him potentially. And then I think there's going to be an issue when all 3 fish are bigger, keeping them fed if they're only going to eat live food. So we're going to see how that goes. But we also have these buckets going. In this bucket, I actually have brine shrimp that I tossed in a bucket, and they're slowly hatching and raising up. I'm going to scoop out some of the adult brine shrimp every couple days. And then these 3 buckets I just set up with guppies in them this past week. The plan is I'm feeding them frozen tubifex worms right now. So high quality food that hopefully they will pop out some babies. And every week they're just going to get 100% water change. I'm going to dump them into a net, put them in a little sorting cup, take the babies out, put the babies in with Mr. Picky for him to eat, and then put the adults back in their buckets. So it's an easy way to kind of scoop babies out every week. I'm hoping it's going to work. Not really sure, but that is the plan. But they've got their little sponge filter media down there and their little fake plants, and they seem to be doing okay. But, well, that is the fish tour. And Fruit Loops is fascinated by the fish. She likes to play with them and bat them and help with them. She hasn't fallen into the tank recently, so she's gotten a little smarter about that. But that is everything.